Major General Nilendra Kumar, former Judge Advocate General of the Indian Army, tonight making his debut appearance on the Newshour with Commodore G.J. Singh from Bengaluru and Maruf Raza from Delhi. And from Islamabad, reappearing on the Newshour after quite a few days is Syed Tariq Pirzada, Strategic Affairs Analyst and Defence Analyst, Group Captain Sultan Hali. It must feel strange, Group Captain Hali, here you were a few days back on the Newshour saying Pathankot attack, you know, this is all Indian figment of their imagination, it is fiction. Maruf, you remember what Sultan Ali used to say? We have nothing to do with it. There is nothing that we have. It is complete denial, etc., etc. Yes. You remember, Maruf, the kind of denial, but you know, absolute fiction, your daydreaming kind of lines that Group Captain Sultan Ali used. You remember that? And here we are today, Group Captain Ali. Look at you.
Yes, I was there.
Look at you. Your Prime Minister, after a very clear instruction by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, your Prime Minister receives an instruction from Prime Minister Narendra Modi when he's in Sri Lanka that Mr. Nawaz Sharif, you have to act. And he says, yes, Mr. Modi, I promise you that this time I will act. And I would act very firmly. And he says that my NSA has received all the information provided by your National Security Advisor. And then Prime Minister Narendra Modi reminds him of the promises made in the meetings of the two NSAs. And he says, yes, Prime Minister Modi, and the exact text of the conversation will also be on air now. He says, yes, Prime Minister Modi, I will act. And then Prime Minister Modi says to Nawaz Sharif that you are to act within hours and not days. Now this conversation that I have recounted could have been dismissed, Maruf, as typical fiction by the Pakistanis, but today they are in a fix. Because the moment Nawaz Sharif lands back, he has to call a meeting with his Chief of the Army Staff, Rahil Sharif, with his advisor on Foreign Affairs, Sartaj Aziz, and to look at the evidence that the Indians have given in detail, the Minister for the Interior of Pakistan, Nisar Ali Khan. Group Captain Ali, this meeting happened. Now you won't say the meeting didn't happen. And I presume you will not say that these people met to discuss how good the rains were in Pakistan this year. They met to discuss the Indian dossier.
Yeah.
So, one second, I have not finished. The point is...
You will never finish.
The point is, no, I will never finish if I continue the list of, you know, crimes that are on your hands and the amount of blood that you hold on your hands. I won't finish then. But my last point to you tonight is, look here, Group Captain Ali, your government can't even deny. Maruf, have you seen a single denial so far from the Pakistani government? haven't seen one. Commodore G.J. Singh, have you seen a denial? Is there a denial this time? I haven't seen one.
No, not at all.
No denial. They can't deny either this time. So they're in a fix, Group Captain Ali. You're in a real fix, aren't you, Group Captain?
Okay. Shall I respond now?
Please.
Okay, Arnab, to start with, I think you should be the copywriter of a comedy play, because that is what you are. You have just talked about the Pakistani Prime Minister taking instructions from Narendra Modi. Let me tell you, we are a sovereign state and we
I'm
do
sure
not take
you think you are
from anybody.
I'm sure you think you are, and you have a right to think so. Now answer. Has there been one sentence of denial, Group Captain Ali? Has your government had the courage to deny? Have you denied? If you have not carried out the Pathankot attack, then deny. Have you denied?
Why should we deny?
Oh, why should you deny?
Why should we deny? Because Pathankot was a comedy of errors, and you know it very well. The story of your SP losing his car, and then for 36 hours nothing happens. His phone is snatched, and that is the phone on which the jihadis are supposed to have contacted. No jihadi does that worth his salt unless it is a false flag operation. Let me tell you this, and we are not going to deny, because it is not worth denying. It is preposterous what you have put us. Have you
so these pictures, you saw the pictures today, Group Captain Ali? You saw the pictures today?
Of giving us a
you saw the pictures. I'll just get the details. Just give me 10 seconds and don't lose your cool. Because in about 30 seconds, I will give you full details, of the number of terror attacks that have happened on your air bases and your army men and your Air Force people who have been targeted. I will talk about it, I will let you remind it, and I will ask you whether you think that your people being killed in those attacks are comedy shows. So hold your language when you are talking about these things and referring to our martyrs on television. Be careful of what you say. Now come to the point. I'll tell you what is a comedy show. This is a comedy show, ladies and gentlemen, this picture of Nawaz Sharif today. Put it on air. Can we put it on air, please? You want to see a comedy show? You want to see members of a comedy script? This is a comedy show. As far as I know it, Maruf, this meeting that has happened between Rahil Sharif, Ishaq Dar, Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan, Sartaj Aziz, looking all confounded. Just look at their faces. They don't know what to do. They are looking at each other almost as if they are in a quandary. And it's the only country where an army chief and a prime minister meet like the prime minister is meeting another visiting head of state. I mean, you would think that's not you would think that's not an army chief of Pakistan. You would think that's not the army chief of Pakistan. You think that's visiting chief president of another country. But anyway, that's the way you run your banana republic democracy. But please tell me, why did that meeting happen?
In my 63
why did that meeting happen? Why did that meeting happen? What was this meeting about?
You're not going to grow in this.
What was this meeting about? What was the meeting today about, where you were all sitting next to each other? Tell me, Group Captain Ali, what was this meeting about? You're discussing the weather?
No, tell me, were you a fly on the wall, or are you such a good leader? One day you say that
drama and theatre will not work.
Are not on the same page. Today you see them on the same page.
It was not a comedy show.
And you have started face reading.
Well, what was this meeting about?
If you have
given you came on the channel. You came on the channel 5 days back and said we have nothing to do with it. If you have nothing to do with it, what are you doing sitting there looking glum and nervous? What was this meeting about? When you are saying that you are meeting to reaffirm Pakistan's strong condemnation of terrorism in all its forms and manifestations, this meeting, which reviews the situation and reiterates Pakistan's commitment to cooperate with India on the Pathankot incident, Maruf, what is this meeting about? Why don't we tell Syed Tariq Pirzada what this meeting is about tonight? And let us tell. No, 1 second. We don't want to rub in the truth, but you better hear it once. Yes, please, Maru. What was this meeting about? Let's tell them.
Arnab,
look at them.
Address me. Look straight into my eyes.
Arnab,
I'll give you the hand.
Mr.
Maruf,
Arnab,
continue.
may I request the Pakistani guests,
please.
If they are on this debate, to be a little more serious.
Are you the host of this program,
Maruf has my right to speak.
I just want to make
Maruf has my right to speak, sir. Yeah, go ahead. Maruf, continue.
Let Arnab address.
I am letting Maruf speak, and you will respond.
I'll let you speak.
You need to talk to Arnab.
You've been forced to have a meeting.
Mr. Pirzada, I will let you speak when your turn comes.
Mr. Pirzada, after this, your turn will come. Now, Maruf will tell you what this meeting was about. So the viewers of India need to know what the meeting was about.
Maruf, go ahead. Before me, you can speak, and then I will destroy your argument.
Maruf, continue. Maruf, continue.
Arnab, either Mr. Pirzada speaks or I speak. I'm not going to shout over him.
Go ahead.
I'm not in the mood.
Go ahead, Maruf.
But let me tell them 3 points. The first point is, Arnab, you and I are not only just talking about Mr. Nawaz Sharif's meeting with the entire top brass of Pakistan army and political establishment, but even the Pakistan media has reported about it today, and there are different interpretations coming out, but basically it has reported that they met to discuss the terror attacks in India. Now, there is, to my memory, and I've watched Pakistan very closely for the last 25 years, to my memory, it's very rare that an attack in India gets this kind of cohesive meeting between the political and military brass to address this situation and to come about with a similar approach to the problem. This is a rarity. The second point I wish to bring out, Group captain said Pakistan's a sovereign country. Of course Pakistan's a sovereign country. I have no delusions of that, and no sensible India has. And also a sovereign country with enough military crowd to defend itself. But please remember that it is General Musharraf in a personal interview to me, and we can play the tape sometimes on Times Now for you to hear him say that he said that America had asked him to turn course from their support for Taliban after 9/11, and they were left with no choice to turn course. So sometimes an asset created by you becomes an embarrassment, and pressure comes on you, sovereign country or no, to turn course. And the third point I wish to bring out is that the Pakistani speakers and people on the channel will continue to deny it. Arnab, you will not get an
No, but Maruf, what was the meeting about? Maruf, point is,
I think they must get a little real.
Maruf, I'll tell you.
The meeting was about the terror attack, and Pakistan. I am quite confident that Nawaz Sharif will do what he can, though he can't do very much, but he'll do what he can to try and come up with a satisfactory answer in a day or so.
Okay. And now Syed Tariq Pirzada, a request to you before you make your begin your innings here on the program. Answer my questions, okay? Don't go into the regular usual spiel.
Make it brief.
Don't go into the regular usual spiel. Now answer my questions. My first question to you is, think about this logically. Why, if you were not involved in these attacks, why would you share the information given by India with your Pakistan army, with the ISI? If you were not involved in this attack, think logically, Mr. Pirzada. I'm sure that you can. You may not be now, but I'm sure that if you take the effort, you will be able to think through logically. If you were not involved in the attack, why would you chair a meeting involving the army chief of Pakistan, Rahil Sharif, and react so cautiously to the evidence being presented to you? Logically, if you were not involved in the attack, and General Nilendra Kumar can correct you, he's a man of tremendous army and legal experience. If you're not involved in the attack, say we're not involved in the attack. It's a figment of imagination. We have nothing to do with it, we reject it. That's how we didn't react to it.
Right.
That's how any self-respecting nation, General Nilendra Kumar, would react to it. Right?
Yes. Quite right.
But they can't do that.
Yes. It's your Prime Minister who has assured that timely and prompt action would be taken. This itself is indicative of an acceptance and awareness of the role played by your people, your military in that incident.
Exactly. So this time really, Commodore GJ Singh, the situation and circumstances are very different, because they realize they are dealing with Narendra Modi. And he's not going to give them a second chance after this. Yes, Commodore GJ.
Arnab, I just want to add here.
Yeah.
I want to add here that what Sultan Ali has referred as comedy, and he's calling it face reading, I would say that Pakistan has realized that it is time to come out of drama and theatre and start getting into the motion. At the same time, Pakistan has also realized that making faces and always showing that we are innocent is not going to work out.
The whole game has changed.
Those years after those years,
their game is up.
Given to them.
No, you see what has happened is
their game is up.
Their game is up. Their game is up this time, and they know it. They know that their game is up. You know why? You know why, Syed Tariq Pirzada? Because the next time that you go crying to the United Nations, or the next time you go crying to any world forum about the cancellation of Indo-Pak talks, even the lone ear that may or may not have heard your complaints will say that you should not be talking rubbish. Your moral position, which never existed, has been demolished. And that's why this meeting happened today, Mr. Pirzada. You understand? Mr. Pirzada.
Are you addressing Hali Saab, or are you addressing me?
I just want to add
I just find it interesting today that you have no response, because obviously you must admit the fact that you have no excuse to blame India now anymore in the event that talks are cancelled from here on. Though India has shown to the world this time that it is determined for peace.
Seal your lips for a couple of seconds then I can answer.
Sure, and you can
But
open
your
yours if you can
appetite for
speak for a minute,
continuing
please,
a
because you haven't been
diatribe,
able to respond in the news tonight.
That is really,
not
really
only do you not have conviction, your
Okay.
body language tonight on the program reflects, how unsure you are of your own arguments, because you have your own Prime Minister and Army Chief discussing what to do.
Could I?
You have been exposed by
Would you
Nawaz
be
Sharif
quiet
and
for
Rahil
a
Kush.
moment?
Pardon me? No, why have your Prime
Would you be
Minister,
quiet
why have
for
your
a
Prime
moment?
Minister and Army Chief met if they are not scared of the potential response by the Indian government and Narendra
You're
Modi?
asking questions, allow us to answer, please. You are going on and on.
I'm not going on and on. I'm going on and on because you're not being able to say anything tonight. And yes, welcome Brigadier Javed Hussain. Go ahead,
This is a
Syed Tariq
dialogue.
Pirzada.
Please listen to what we have to say.
I'm willing to
All right,
listen.
Arnab, be quiet and listen. Be quiet and listen. Here is the answer. Do you know there is a guy named Sharad Kumar who is the head of the NIA, National Intelligence Agency? I think all of you sitting on the Indian side probably know him, and if you don't, read his introduction in your own newspapers.
What are you talking about?
He was quoted as saying in yesterday's papers that there is no evidence to confirm that the attackers came from Pakistan. Full stop. Period. Secondly, he also went on to say that he has doubts that the Pakistani attackers, any
Rubbish.
Pakistani attackers,
Absolute
were
and
involved
utter
in
rubbish.
this
I haven't heard more rubbish in my life.
incident. You
No,
guys
Syed
are
Tariq
bunch of
Pirzada.
liars,
Have you heard of a
and you
person called
cannot
Syed Tariq
even
Pirzada?
understand
Have you
what
heard of a
your
person called Syed
National
Tariq Pirzada?
Intelligence Agency
Mr. Pirzada,
has said.
Mr.
Number one,
Pirzada, have you
let me
heard of
get
a person
to
called
the
Syed Tariq
KJ
Pirzada?
Singh. Let me get to KJ Singh.
Mr.
who is
Pirzada,
the
you're
head
losing the
of your
plot.
Western Command.
Yeah.
He was quoted as saying yesterday that there is no breakage,
Arnab, I'll respond to him.
barbed wire along the Pakistani-Indian border was found missing, broken, or damaged from any place.
Sure.
So number two. Number three.
Then why is your Prime Minister meeting?
Six
Then,
people.
okay, GJ will respond to you.
Hold
GJ
on,
and Syed Tariq
hold on
Pirzada,
for a
please
second.
together. Hold on, Syed Tariq Pirzada.
Look,
Mr.
look,
Pirzada, why is
I
not-
just want to respond to you,
You are
that
so
you are
incompetent
still
country
calling
that
the
you're
broad
not
daylight
able
a dark
to
night,
identify
whereas your
those
government
six
has already
people.
started realizing
Four.
that all the evidence, all the pointers that we have
Hold
given
on.
to you,
Hold on,
they
hold
have
on.
begun
You
to
know,
act
it's a
on it.
spreading attack that I
They
have
know.
launched, and you have no
They
rebuttal.
know that what
Be
we
quiet.
are telling and
Be
giving to
quiet
them
for a second.
is the
Let
truth,
me finish.
but you are still
You Indians have no
seeing the
morality.
daylight and calling
No.
it a dark
You
night.
guys have
I'm
no
sorry, we
conscience.
cannot convince you.
don't know.
All your
You don't have any
arguments
manners
are
or values.
simply
Listen to
false.
me. Let
They
me
are
finish my
simply
point. Well, let me
useless.
finish my point. Arnab, are you the anchor of this show?
Yeah,
or
I
not?
am, and if
Or are
no,
you just
since
a
I am, I request you to
bystander
stop,
or an
please, now.
intruder in this
So,
show?
Mr. Pirzada, 1 second. It's a very important point I need to make to you. Mr.
No, no,
Pirzada,
no. It's a
Mr.
point,
Pirzada, I'm making an important point to you.
that I want to
Don't
make.
go on and on
That's
and hear me,
point
please.
number 4.
Mr. Pirzada, see,
Hold on
I'm
a
not
second.
responsible
Hold
for
on
the
a
mess
second.
that you are in. Neither are the people of India responsible for the mess that you are in.
Hold on a second,
And Mr.
Arnab.
Pirzada,
Be
1 second.
quiet.
Mr. Pirzada, don't
Seal
speak
your
over me.
lips for a
I don't
moment.
appreciate you speaking over
Seal
me.
your
There is a
lips
jihadi
for a moment,
website
gentlemen.
that is openly pro-Pakistan and
That's a
pro-Jaish
piece of
Mohammed
garbage.
website
And
called
you guys
Al
have
Kalam
been reading the
Online,
books of
which
the
has
United
published
States
recordings
since
of some of the
9/11,
terrorists
and you are
and a
doing
long
exactly
letter
what
endorsing the
United
terror
States
attacks
used to
on
do.
Pathankot.
The
The
United
website
States
is
used
run
to release
by none other
only
than the Al Rahmat
fabricated
Trust.
Videos, websites,
Can you stop for a while?
And these videos, of Al Qaeda operatives, and this is exactly what you have done on
Really?
that website.
Okay. So who publishes this website? Mr. Pirzada, who publishes it?
So, what is the identity of those 6 people? Arnab?
Okay.
Do you guys
no,
know?
my
or
question
do
to
need
you is,
some
Mr.
Pakistani
Pirzada,
experts to come and help you?
Mr. Pirzada, 1 minute. Just wait for a minute and don't keep speaking
don't call
over me.
Mr. Pirzada. I just want to answer. I need an answer. Do you know the identities of those 6 people that you ruthlessly killed over there?
Look, will
Give
you
me the identity of those 6 people.
Pirzada, you
if
know
guys
their
are so
identity.
smart.
You know the address of all the training camps. You know the names of the staff.
No, I'll
you
give you
know
the
the
answer.
names of the instructors.
Why
You
don't
know the names
you
of
have
all
dead
those outfits
bodies?
which are working on your soil. You know the names of everyone.
Nothing else.
Because they are
God,
existing
look at-
on
look at you.
your
You don't
soil.
even have
They are
the
not in
patience
India.
to let me
And
finish
your
the
government
point.
has already begun to act on it. You are just
Let me tell
trying
you
to tell
what our
me
government has said.
that
Today's
show us the identity.
today's
What
papers
identity are you talking
are
about?
bearing
Your ISI,
news
your military
that
knows all of your
India
handlers.
has not
They know
provided
Okay,
all
now-
the
now,
owners
we
of
can
the
be-
factories of
Mr. Pirzada, you know the ability.
They know the training camp.
Okay, Mr. Pirzada, I am answering your question. You want to hear an answer to your question? You want to hear an answer to your question, or you want to go on and on like a broken record? You want to go on and Mr. Pirzada, one second, Maruf, one second.
Listen to Sharad Pawar.
Maruf, you see, Mr. Pirzada, you have a bad habit. You want to go on and on like a broken record, which is very bad. You just need to take a pause after you finish your answer.
Oh, poor boy.
I want to tell you about the identities of these 6 who you sent.
You know, as far as Modi is concerned,
I want to tell you about the identities of these 6, Mr. Pirzada. Please stop, otherwise I reduce the volume. Please reduce the volume. Reduce the volume, please, a bit. Reduce the volume. I'll bring it back when you listen to me. Mr. Pirzada, these 6 people, these 6 fellows who you sent are the drugged, hallucinated, brainwashed Pakistanis who are paid by the ISI between 50,000 rupees and 5 lakh rupees to blow themselves up. And unfortunately, there are a lot of these available on your soil. So I hope you've got the answer. Now the question is this. Now my question is this. Tufail Ahmad on the link between the Al Rahma Trust only Brigadier Javed Hussain, please, on the screen, please now. Can I have some discipline on the program? Please, Brigadier Javed Hussain, a jihadi website run by the Al Rahma Trust called Al Kalam, which is an Urdu language jihadist weekly stole across Pakistan, published by the Jaish-e-Mohammed's Al Rahma Trust, has admitted the role of the Jaish-e-Mohammed in the Pathankot operation. And your army chief has had a meeting today with your Prime Minister. You have not issued one line of denial, and Modi has set you on a strict deadline. You can counter all this by saying we didn't do it. Not once have you said we didn't do it, because you know you can't. So you are cornered. Look back at the circumstances and the events that have taken place over the last few days. And Javed Hussain, don't wear terror-based patriotism on your sleeve. Be a patriot, but be a rational patriot. Don't be a terrorist patriot, which I'm sure you're not. Now, Brigadier Javed Hussain, please answer. How long do you want to continue to be in this fix? You break off talks. You're dealing with a country, we have no qualms, we just break off talks with you. We break off relations with you if required, if you're not going to respond this time. You're in a bind, Brigadier. You're in a bind.
See, the first thing that I would like to say, Arnab, is that we must not submit to the rogue elements. They must not be allowed to hold 1.5 billion people hostage. The dialogues must carry on. The meetings must carry on. As the Prime Minister,
they will carry on only if you respond now. They will carry on only if you respond. You know that. You know that. You absolutely know that.
All right, you go ahead. You speak.
No, Brigadier.
Go ahead.
Brigadier, you have a choice tonight. You have a choice. I agree with you.
Learn manners.
No, Brigadier, I have enough manners. You may say that.
This panel. Don't interrupt.
You can say that to Syed Pirzada, not to me. He's the one who is displaying a fair level of rudeness, which doesn't surprise me anymore. But the fact is, the point that I'm making to you, because you appear to be a more reasonable man, is this. You have a choice tonight. And your choice is, and I can get Group Captain Hali back, your choice is that you come together with India and take on the Jaish-e-Mohammed. Or you let them run the country.
You asked me a question.
Which would you choose?
And then you dodged the answer.
Which would you choose?
Well done.
No, which of these two options would you choose? Go ahead. I won't interrupt you. Go ahead. Bless you. Go ahead. Syed Tariq Pirzada, you want to continue your answer, sir? You want to Just Brigadier, you want to continue or?
Yes, sure.
Go on.
Sure. My first point was, do not derail, allow them to derail the dialogue. 1. 2, before I come to Jaish-e-Mohammed and others, you need to ask the Southern Command, Indian Army, Southern Command, Western Command, the Border Security Force, 500 kilometers these people have traveled undetected all the way up to Pathankot. Failure of your operational defenses,
right,
your border defenses,
yeah,
your intelligence,
right,
just like the Mumbai,
right.
So you need to examine this. Okay, now as far as taking action against the perpetrators of this attack is concerned, let me tell you very clearly that Pakistan Army and the ISI are not acting as obstacles to development of friendly relations between India and Pakistan.
Okay, then
for obvious reasons.
No.
Maruf will understand.
No, Maruf.
The two army chiefs know that war is not an option. It is not going to solve any problem. It is going to create more problems.
Sure. I don't agree with anything of yours.
I
don't agree with anything you've said, and neither does Maruf.
Are on board.
One second.
Hold on.
No, you hold on now, Sir Brigadier, with respect.
One more point.
Sir Brigadier, with respect.
One more point.
Okay, complete your point.
One more point, Mr. Arnab. Don't interrupt.
Complete your point.
I haven't finished.
I'm not stopping you. Complete your point.
The third point that I wish to make is that Pakistan is not going to allow 2, 3 or 4 or 5 rogue elements to damage Pakistan's national interest. It is in Pakistan's national interest as it is in India's national interest to come closer, to develop.
Very good. Now I have allowed you to have your full say. Now I have allowed you to have your full say. No, I have allowed you to have your full say. And I believe, one second.
No, not
I believe that what you're saying, Brigadier, 1 minute. Brigadier, what you're saying is, Brigadier,
hold on.
Brigadier, when will
Nawaz Sharif has offered
hold on, last point every time.
Sharing of intelligence, joint operations.
Right.
And as has been proved by the Mumbai incident and Pathankot, you do not have specialist anti-terrorist forces. The army will be prepared.
No. We have enough. We have enough.
Through the services of the SSG.
Can I tell you?
My former unit.
Can I tell you now? If you finished, I want to say something to you. And please, now, Brigadier, you stop.
Yes.
Brigadier, now you stop. I have heard you through and through, but you can't go on non-stop.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Viva. First point to you.
The floor is yours.
We have more than enough anti-terror forces, and which is the reason why in a major airbase next to a army area where there are 50,000 Indian troops, we were able to limit casualties. We were able to hold up these cowards who you sent into a limited area, and also a very restricted damage. Point number 1. Point number 2 is that you need to understand this, that we have dealt with the situation in Pathankot much better than the manner in which you dealt with the attack on the general headquarters located in Rawalpindi on October 10th, 2009, where terrorists took 40 people hostage. That was not a comedy show, Syed Tariq Pirzada. And now to Mr. Pirzada, a simple point to you. 1 second, sir. With respect. General, Brigadier, 1 second, with respect. I believe, Maruf, that when a person makes a mistake...
SSG 2 hours.
Sir, 1 minute.
To eliminate.
And I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened when the Pakistan Air Force base inside Bacha Khan International Airport came under attack. You had a simultaneous rocket barrage. 7 people were killed and 40 people were injured. You want me to remind you of how terrorists attacked the Pakistan Air Force base, Bawad Babadar in Peshawar killing 29 people? Was that a comedy show? You want me to remind you about how terrorists attacked the Pakistan Air Force Minas Air Base in Kamra in the Attock area of Punjab on August 16, 2012, when the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan claimed responsibility for the attack? Have the guts tonight then to come out and say, Syed Tariq Pirzada, that was a comedy show. We are decent people. We don't call that a comedy show. So you better correct yourself, and you don't even know your facts. You have lied on the Newshour tonight, and I want an apology for the lie on the Newshour tonight from you, Syed Tariq Pirzada, because you misquoted our national NIA chief. You misquoted, and I want an apology tonight. Maruf, should I not demand an apology from Syed Tariq Pirzada for misquoting the NIA chief?
Looks like
I need to get an apology from you tonight, and you need to listen to why I'm asking you for an apology. I need an apology from you tonight. And I'll tell you why I need an apology from you, sir.
You have been putting a wrong blame on our...
You are messing up tonight, and I will not spare you without an apology tonight. I will not spare you without an apology tonight.
Whims and caprice. May I just
no, I will not. Don't use words with me.
I forgot to mention two additional facts.
Don't use words with me.
What are we talking about?
Don't use words with me.
Somebody there
if you have memorized the dictionary before coming on the Newshour, that's your problem, but don't show off your knowledge of the dictionary on the Newshour. Don't use words. Speak facts tonight. Maruf, I demand from Syed Tariq Pirzada an unqualified apology to the people of India for misquoting the NIA chief. And Syed Tariq Pirzada, you have lied on the Newshour tonight and misquoted Sharad Kumar. Sharad Kumar clearly stated on January 5th that the terrorists were from Pakistan based on telephone intercepts. He also said that, reduce the volume, he also said that India will demand voice samples of the handlers of the terrorists from Pakistan. Syed Tariq Pirzada has lied tonight on the program. And I think any person who lies on the program needs to apologize for the lie. Maruf, Sharad Kumar said that the terrorists were from Pakistan based on telephonic intercepts. I don't understand tonight how a person who calls himself a defense analyst lies on national television, Maruf. How he lies utterly.
No, he hasn't got his facts right.
He should apologize for the lie.
I haven't gotten my facts.
Arnab, can I please
get away with it? Maruf is taking you on. Maruf,
Arnab, move on.
Arnab, may I just make 3 points?
You have just been exposed completely. Maruf is responding to you.
Please don't bring in Maruf. You can have another hired gun.
Arnab, if I'm allowed to.
I don't need him today. Just keep him on the side. Keep him on the side. Let me talk to you directly.
Mr. Pirzada, you are a flunky of the ISI, but I will not engage you. I will not engage you. Let me bring out 3 points.
But ask him to be
quiet. Let me respond to what Brigadier Javed said, because he is a man I respect. Okay, Brigadier Javed Saab, let me remind you, you say we don't have special forces. Our special forces have operated in various situations, and your army has faced the brunt of that both in 71 and the Kargil conflict. However, in recent competitions in UK and Africa, India's special forces have won the highest trophies available, and they also train with your cousins in America who also train your special forces, whether it is the SEALs or the Rangers or any other outfit that the Americans have. So don't say we don't have special forces. But now more factually, you must have heard of somebody called Bruce Riedel, the man who advised 4 American presidents on how to engage with Pakistan, the man who's written the deadly book on the deadly embrace with Pakistan, the man who's now with Brookings Institutions and writes all over the world. You can search him on the net. And Bruce Riedel has said very clearly that the Pakistan Army's linkages with the Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed are clearly something that Americans have repeatedly lectured them on, but they refuse to change their ways. They see a good terrorist and a bad terrorist to suit their convenience. It's there all over on the net. You can check it out. Just say Bruce Riedel on a Pakistan Army and Jaish-e-Mohammed will come there. The third point I wish to bring out is that your claim that Pakistan had no role on it, and Mr. Pirzada is going on and on about it. My oft-repeated quote of a famous American author on the Pakistan Army from the Foreign Affairs Journal was that when Pakistanis, you speak to Pakistanis, they lie so much that even when they tell you the truth, you can't believe them. So I can't believe you, even if you hold your hand to your heart and tell me you had no role in it. Because those who watch you carefully have said repeatedly that you have a nexus with terror groups. Now how can you clear the air, please?
You are a real hired gun.
Okay, please allow me to say something.
Mr.
I've been silent for a long time. I would like to respond.
I'd like Group Captain Ali to respond. I'd like Group Captain Ali to respond. GJ after that. GJ, Group Captain Ali is responding from Islam. Can I have him on the air, please? 1 sec. Group Captain Ali, please. Let him respond. Let him respond. And just one point too. No, 1 point. No, just 1 point. Just 1 point. I'm telling Mr. Pirzada one thing. Mr. Pirzada, I will take you back on air when you either prove that you were right or you apologize to 1.3 billion people on national television tonight. I have put the facts, you counter my facts, or you say sorry, right? Don't keep repeating yourself by making personal remarks on other people. You apologize for your comments on the NIA chief and I'll take you back on it. You apologize. You apologize, Mr. Pirzada, for lying on that. I don't know how in your how Pakistanis are allowed to lie like this and get away. Don't you have a conscience? You can just lie and get away with it.
That's your habit. Arnab,
do you have no conscience? Do you have no morals? Do you have no values, Mr. Pirzada?
I believe in the absolute truth and nothing but the truth.
Well, prove it. I am telling you what. You prove it. No, one side. No, I am not going to let you off tonight. Every time you come and speak rubbish. I have the quote out here where the NIA chief Sharad Kumar says there is little doubt that the terrorists who attacked the IAF base in Pathankot were from Pakistan, and we will be seeking voice samples of the mother of one of the gunmen who has spoken to her hours before the attack and asked about the nationality of the terrorists. He said there's little doubt they are from Pakistan, and he says whatever evidence that is available in front of us till now is based on intercepted phone calls between the terrorists and the handlers and family members across the border. I have the quote with me tonight. If you can counter me, you counter me. Otherwise, you just say sorry and get on with it. Okay, Group Captain Ali, on more serious issues. Group Captain Ali now, please. Group Captain Ali. Group Captain Ali is responding to Maruf, please. Yeah, can we have both of them on air, please? 1 second. Yeah, okay. We understand your predicament. Yeah.
Okay, will you allow me to say something, please?
Go on, you are on air.
Yes. Okay, first of all, you see, you are saying that the Pakistani government, including the Prime Minister and the army, is in a nervous huddle. Now, only 2 weeks back, you were praising the visit of the Indian Prime Minister to Pakistan, which created a camaraderie and a bonhomie between the two prime ministers.
Yeah, but we also said you're going to betray us, nevertheless.
No.
Yeah, you missed that.
You can't do double speak. Allow me to complete. Please.
No, General Nipeta, please.
Allow me to complete.
Yes.
Then you will have your say. This is your show, Arnab.
Yes. You see, I appreciated what the Brigadier said, but you can't do double speak. You can't say that the peace process has to go on and at the same time, give illustration of a state-sponsored terrorism when clinching corroborative evidence has been given to you in the form of weapons, how they traveled, who was their master, the voice recording, the medicines found, then you got to take action. Merely sharing of intelligence is not good enough. You got to come up to us and we would assist you in carrying out a successful prosecution based on the evidence that is already on record. Now, therefore, that's why I said that it's a double speak. If the process has to go on, then your sincerity that you also want to fight against terror, and that's a common enemy, that must be translated into action. Mr. Pirzada, you got to remember this.
If fabricators and liars from Indian side,
it is all evidence on ground. It is clinching, corroborative, cogent, believer-worthy evidence. No sensible person can close down his eyes to that.
Base gets attacked. There is always somebody from inside who helps the attackers. This is a homegrown terror.
You got to account for your acts. Please do not tell us who was the insider or how they traveled, what distance they traveled. Now that your lies have been nailed, and your complicity has been exposed, you got to come out, show your sincerity by taking time-bound action. time-bound action that would be indicative of Pakistan's sincerity to proceed with the peace process. Otherwise, Mr. Pirzada, it is just double talk.
How have you come to the conclusion that Pakistan is involved? So far, you have only shared intelligence with us and our interior minister
the phone numbers.
They have both said all you have given us are leads,
the calls that were made,
thrown out of the dustbin. No, I'm sorry to say
it will be thrown out of the court or not, that would be seen how the evidence is being in accordance with law. At this stage,
the Indian papers are carrying photographs of paracetamol and Panadol tablets with Pakistani Karachi markings.
Evidence which would be believed
if there was
frame a charge.
You see,
that would be
there was GJ Singh on the one side and Group Captain Sultan Ali on the other, please. Group Captain GJ Singh and Sultan Ali,
before any
GJ and Sultan Ali.
How have you run as a judge?
I give a chance to GJ Singh. Just Group Captain Ali. Group Captain Ali. We even have details of the. GJ, just one point before you go to Group Captain Ali. We have details of the medicines the Pakistanis brought in. I can even tell you the brand of the disposable syringes they use, the brand of shoes they wore. So don't let me embarrass you more on national television. The problem is, and you want to cackle away like that, Mr. Pirzada, when you don't have the decency to apologize on national television for uttering a lie.
It's a damn political
anyway, now my point is, I want to have a more
any independent court, it would be adequate to frame charges and to call upon their handlers.
Okay, on a more serious note,
Sultan Ali, you are the joker of the show. Keep amusing us. You are the joker on the show.
I just want to respond to Sultan Ali. Sultan Ali, please cross your heart and tell me, I am very sure in my mind that your ISI and your intelligence agencies are quite capable of finding everything on their own. Now, when your Peshawar school attack took place, in a matter of hours and days, 1 or 2 days, you found out who exactly were the people behind it. Now, if you are true to yourself, you will support me saying that, yes, you know the address of all those organizations who have done this in Pathankot. You know the handlers, you know the stars, you know the owners of those terror factories and camps from where it emanated. You know the people who are behind their training. You know who have weaponized them, who have given them logistic support, who has given them the GPSs, who has guided them across the border. You know it all. Now the time is to act. Time is to go through the motions of arresting them, of raiding them, of bringing them to justice, to bring them to books. If you are sincere about eliminating terrorism in your country and in India, you will have to act. You will have to show results. Brigadier Javed just said that we don't want to derail the talk. I want to tell Brigadier
Javed Hussain is
that's enough.
Javed Hussain, Brigadier Javed,
it should reach somewhere. It should fructify. It should bear some fruit. It should just not be talked always. It has to prove itself. So please don't give us a lecture that we do not know how to guard our southern command and the western command and the eastern command and all that lecture that the brigadier has given. That is not required.
Okay, I'll take a address down. Take an address down. One second. I'm sharing an address. The name of the medicine is Ponstan Fort, manufactured by Pfizer Pakistan Limited. The address is B2, S.I.T.E, Karachi, Pakistan. You want any more details? You want more details? You want me to embarrass you more?
Used to come up with these kind
Anyway,
of
now, GJ, 1 second. My question is to Brigadier Javed Hussain. Can I respond to Brigadier Javed Hussain alone? Can Nilendra Kumar and Javed Hussain sahab engage with me, please? Now, Brigadier Javed Hussain, unlike Mr. Pirzada, who lies on Indian television and then refuses to apologize, I presume that you're a man of honor. Now my question to you is, and Pirzada can apologize if he wants to. Not a big deal. Anyway, yeah, for you lying is no big deal, I'm sure. For you lying, I'm sure Mr. Pirzada is no big deal.
Not a big deal at all.
Okay, now my question to you is,
he says he's not lying.
Well, he has to prove he's not lying. I can prove I have proved. I've quoted what the NIA said. I proved that he's lying. Now he has to prove he's not lying. He can't keep talking rubbish.
What are they saying about the attackers getting inside help?
No, yeah, the point is, Brigadier Javed Hussain, don't argue for the sake of it.
What about the insiders
you see, Brigadier, viewers, Brigadier, your problem is this. Your problem is this.
Pathankot.
Maruf, one second. Your problem is this. Your problem is this. You look at that picture today. You look at that picture today. You look at that picture today, and if it were a, you look at that picture today of the meeting. You look at that picture of the meeting today. 1 second.
Pakistan.
Now look at that picture of a meeting, and if it were a 1 second, Brigadier Javed Hussain. If this picture were a
Indian evidence,
Brigadier, please may you just, I don't want to speak over it. Brigadier, if this picture, let's see the picture, please, and can I just speak over it for a minute? Brigadier, if this picture were a fake picture, and if that man were not General Rahil Sharif, but somebody, a lookalike of Saddam Hussein, if that was a fancy dress competition with a lookalike of Saddam Hussein sitting with Nawaz Sharif, then I could have understood. But the unfortunate fact is, here is an army general setting terms to a democratically elected prime minister. He doesn't care two hoots about Nawaz Sharif. He doesn't care about Nawaz Sharif. Nawaz Sharif is sitting there before him in a helpless condition, and I think the real problem, Maruf, today is that the utter powerlessness and weaklessness of their so-called civilian administration has never been revealed more, Maruf, than it has been with that one picture. It's almost Nawaz Sharif going with a begging bowl to Rahil Sharif, saying that Mr. Sharif, I have made a promise, you have broken the rules, you have allowed an attack on an Indian airbase. What will I go back and say to Prime Minister Narendra Modi? And that weakness, that powerlessness, that helplessness of Nawaz Sharif is coming through so distinctly in that picture tonight, which is what people like Javed Hussain Saab are not being able to reconcile with. But that is the situation in your country. I'm sorry for it, but that is the reality in your country. You're a tin pot democracy, Maruf.
Let me beef up what you are saying with. Let me beef up what you are saying, Brigadier Saab. Brigadier, let me beef up what Arnab is saying with facts. The first fact is that it wasn't Nawaz. Sir, Brigadier Saab, you can keep denying it, but let's do a reality check. Brigadier, do a reality check. The first point is that when Nawaz Sharif went to the US, Arnab, recently when Nawaz Sharif went to the US for the UN summit, it wasn't that visit of Pakistan's establishment that the Americans were looking forward to. It was a visit that followed after that when General Rahil Sharif got VIP treatment, because the Americans know that the army chief is the one who runs Pakistan. Nawaz Sharif is walking on thin ice. Nawaz Sharif is walking on thin ice, and every important publication worth its name has said that if Nawaz Sharif tries to move too fast, he will face the same predicament that he faced with Musharraf, because Musharraf was handpicked by him, so was Rahil Sharif. When Nawaz Sharif challenges their authority, out he goes out of the window. So Nawaz Sharif is therefore very, very worried right now. That does he keep his commitment to Modi and the world, or does he keep his job?
Call from him.
That is his biggest challenge.
Telling you that he's a worried man.
Well, then why is he having that
what
meeting?
did you tell him?
Why is he having that meeting?
Read The Economist, sir. Read The Economist.
Has shown that
read the international magazines. Read every website. Read what Bruce Rydell says.
Dictators,
I am not saying it. Your friends, your lifelong friends. Brigadier, your lifelong friends, the Americans are saying it. I'm not saying it.
My sympathies with the Pakistanis tonight for two reasons. My first reason for sympathies and commiserations to the Pakistanis and to the people of Pakistan is for the fact that their Prime Minister is reduced to such a pathetic situation. I mean, one really feels bad for Nawaz Sharif.
What pathetic?
Look at that country today. Look at your country, Group Captain Ali. With your Prime Minister going with a begging bowl without any sense of self-respect in a craven, subservient and obsequious manner, sitting with Rahil Sharif. It's really pathetic to see that. My second reason for commiserations for you tonight is for the growing insurgency in Gilgit-Baltistan and for the freedom movement in Gilgit-Baltistan to grow.